What is up, fellow summoners, and welcome to the channel today. This is a video that I really have been wanting to sit down and put together for a while, and I think with the most recent announcement of 6-star characters coming, and then with the update 15.0, the little video, the artifacts that was dropped, it's just kind of all brought it back fresh into memory here. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to go ahead and throw it out in video format. I want to start by going through, I guess, some of the things that I am excited about, being positive before I kind of roll that over into some concerns I have. And then ultimately, I would like to take those concerns and offer up some positive feedback, some ideas, some things I think that would make the game better off as a whole. Because what I'm looking at is not necessarily MCOC today or MCOC 3 months or 6 months from now. What I'm looking at is a pattern kind of moving forward that concerns me a little bit. And ultimately, you know, I put a ton of time into this game because I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't play it. And the same thing I'm sure can be said for anybody else that's watching this video, for all of the criticism that we give it. You know, for as upset as the community gets, I think a lot of that is actually based in the fact that we enjoy the game so much. And for those reasons, you know, I want to see the game progress, and I want to see it survive for a long time, because this is a game that I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. So having said that, when I saw the announcement of the 6-star characters, I was excited. Whenever you get news that kind of hints at, you know, the game is going to continue to move forward, there is new end game content coming. You know, for me as a character or a player who's basically cleared everything, I'm always excited to see new things implemented within the game. So from that standpoint, the 6-star characters I am very excited for. Also, I do realize that yes, we haven't ranked up 5 stars fully, but I also see, you know, 6-star characters are a long way away. At the very least, we're talking, you know, 5 months, January, 4 or 5 months at the very least. And even then, once they come to the game, they're still going to be very rare, you know, unless you're a big spender. For most of us, they're going to be very rare for a long time. But on the other side of that, with 15.0 dropping yesterday and the Grandmaster crystals, we see the effect that 6 stars are already having on the game, with the ability to just pop open a Grandmaster crystal, and there's a chance. I know it's low, but there's a chance right there to get a 5-star. So we can already see the effect that it's having on the game. So I am excited to see the game continuing to move forward, but my concern lies in the fact that we're seeing a pattern now that whenever we as a player base get to end game content and conquer it, the next step for Kabam to let us progress is not to let us and allow us to use the characters that we have spent either a ton of time trying to get in a crystal, units, money, featured grinds, instead of allowing us to use those characters that we've invested so heavily in. And let's be frank, we even sort of build this connection with these characters that we use. Instead of allowing us to continue to progress with that roster and with those characters, it's kind of like a hard break, because at some point those 4-star characters you're so attached to, they are now going to be basically rolled into the spot of where you see your 3 stars. And I have not used a 3-star outside of in the occasional arena in literally years. And that's what's going to happen to your 4 stars. And then the 5 stars, you know, you're going to use your 5 stars normally. And then, wow, 6 stars are going to be an awesome thing to now add to your roster. And then in a year and a half from now, do 7 stars then come into the game, and now those 5 stars that we spent so much time and money and effort and just arena grinding trying to get, do they kind of see the same fate as the 4 stars and the 3 stars behind them? You know, because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have 15 different versions of the same character. Because, for instance, Hulk, I love using Hulk. And regardless of where he's at in the game, whether it be a 6-star or 7-star or 8-star, like, I really want that character because I love playing with him. I love him as a character. In the comics, in the movies, I love him. So I have that connection there. I enjoy the way he plays, his play style. I love his utility. I love his damage output. So I'm always going to be pushing and trying to get that character. But it always seems like once you almost get to that finish line, like it just keeps getting moved further and further. And it devalues my effort and my time and my money that I have put into getting, you know, the 5-star version or now the 6-star version of that Hulk. But the funny thing is, we expect this type of progression because we've never been offered anything else. But the reality of the situation is we don't have to have it either way. We don't have to give up our current characters for the sake of progressing towards more difficult content. Like, both of those things can work together. We can have more difficult content come to the game, and we can also have ways to increase the usefulness of our current roster to be able to use them for that content. And I guess what I'm strongly hinting at here, and I've said it many times before, is that I would be very much in favor of a gearing type system. And I'm not necessarily saying like, you know, we're working towards weapons or we're working towards helmets or necessarily any visual things that would affect the characters, but more subtle increases, whether that be things that you can unlock that will open up a new rank of your character. So for instance, your 4 stars no longer end at 550. Once you have this item, you can decide who you want to spend it on, and now they can go up to 660. Or your 5-star characters can go up another level, so that because ultimately that's all it is. When you look at these new 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, their signature abilities stay the same, but what they do is they increase their health pool, their base health, their attack power. All of that scales up to be able to deal with the more difficult content. And there are ways to make our current roster, our current characters bump up to be able to take on that. You know, if there was maybe some sort of, we see awakening gems, we see signature stones, maybe an enhancement stone, whether that be an increased percentage, just a flat rate to base attack power, or base health, or base critical rate, whatever you want it to be. You know, and you can tie that into, you know, maybe an arena system, or maybe a reward for doing something specific in the game. You know, we've got the Act number 5, Chapter number 3 and 4 coming out soon. And I'm not saying they're going to be in that, but I'm just saying down the road, this news, as the story quests progress, maybe instead of, you know, just getting a catalyst, maybe we can get these enhancement stones to be able to add to our characters. And in that sense, if you wanted to tie them maybe to the arena, or you know, every, let's say, 500 fights that you win in the arena with your character, you unlock the ability to add a new slot, or, you know, just something that is new and refreshing, and still gives us the ability to use our current characters but still make them viable for the difficult and the end game content. I think that ultimately this builds a stronger connection between you as the player and your roster that you are building, and it keeps you engaged and it keeps you focused on that roster instead of so worried about, well, do I really want to rank up this character because in a year from now maybe they're not so useful. You know, those should never really be things that are holding you back in the game. You should just continue to use the characters that you love, use the characters that you've invested in. And I obviously don't have all the answers to this. Whatever type of gearing system you want to use would probably work out fine, but I'm just trying to kind of push the ball forward and get some ideas thrown out there so we can get a discussion going in the community. And this all, I've been wanting to talk about the gearing system for a while, and I will make a more detailed version of this as far as my ideas for the gearing system. This is all just kind of a general discussion topic just to open up the conversation. But what kind of hinted and pushed me back towards this idea is that the Marvel Comics, the MCOC YouTube page, they dropped that animated comic thing, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. And I don't know if I'm missing something, because I feel like it is strongly hinting at a gearing system, yet nobody is talking about it, so maybe I am missing something. And maybe this isn't a true gearing system. Maybe this is Kabam just kind of dipping their big toe in the water just to see how it is received in the community. But if you look at that strip, that comic, whatever, I'll play it here. You know, they're talking about warriors that lived in the past, that fought, that used these artifacts, as they call them, you know, to increase their power. And though the warriors are gone, the artifacts still remain. And Lockjaw pulls up one of the masks at the very end. But if you roll back the clip and you look, there's also there's like an amulet that the 2 warriors are wearing around their neck, and then also kind of these like bracelets, forearm protection, whatever you want to call it, that's there as well, which it's interesting. Like, there's very clearly the face mask, the bracelet, and the neck, and then really nothing else. You'd think that in a fight like this, they'd be wearing all kinds of stuff, but there's like very clearly 3 things that you see there. And even the bracelet itself almost looks like it's, for lack of a better term, like it's almost like socketed, like you could put gems in it, which I don't know, maybe that's just the graphics part of it, but it looks, the way they're hinting is that we are going to be seeing some of this come to the game very soon, which I'm kind of confused by the timing of this. Like, they've rolled out the new event quest. 15.0 is hit with Alliance War changes, and they've kind of snuck this in, but I'm not really sure. Like, surely this can't be part of the game until 6-star characters come, right? Or maybe they are wanting to buff up our 5-star characters in anticipation of the 6 stars. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. While I do think that this is what it's hinting at, I'm just a little bit confused on the timeline of it all. And maybe somebody could break it down in the comment section with I don't know, with more clarity than probably what I'm bringing to it. But overall, really the purpose of the video is just to get my thoughts out there, and like I said, to open up the discussion, because I am trying to take a long-term look at MCOC. I don't think 6-star characters are by any means going to break the game. However, I think this pattern in the long run will, and I think there are much better options that I will detail in further videos as far as my specific ideas. But again, I wanted to throw my idea, my general idea out there, and at least get the ball rolling, like I said. So definitely let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Positive, negative, I don't really think it matters one way or the other, as long as we're being constructive in the criticism that we give. Because really, I think we all have the same goal, and that is to make MCOC the best game that it can be, so we can continue to play it long term. So leave those comments down below. We'll look forward to reading through them. Follow me over on Twitter. You can leave questions, comments, suggestions, whatever you got. Follow me over on Twitter. You can leave it there. Until I see you all in the next video, as always, have a great day.